that was why she said it. She must have seen something in Ruth that she didn't see in Oprah. And she didn't identify that they were sisters. She identified the law. Because really, Oprah and Ruth were sisters. They came from the same. They came. No people really didn't know that. They actually were sisters. But Naomi acknowledged the law now, and not your sister. You go with your sister. This is blood. She said, your sister-in-law is gone. But are you going to still carry the God of your sister-in-law? Because now the law has been broken between you and my son, and you're no longer her sister-in-law, but you're still her sister. So are you going to go back unto your God, her God, which was once your God? And Ruth said what? What did Ruth say? That was the thing that Ruth said. She said, where I died, where I lie, where you lodge. Y'all know what she said.
Yeah.
A lot of weddings, they use that in some. Have you ever heard that in some weddings? Have you? I've heard that in some weddings. I've heard different things in weddings. You have rice in the you see they have the rice. You take the salt, and I think the salt is something, or I can't remember. They mix it together, I can't throw it. But anyway, that was used in some weddings because of the commitment that Ruth and Naomi had with one another. That some people took it so far that they thought it was a lustful thing. But it really wasn't a lustful thing. It was a spiritual thing. You understand? Some churches that want to have gay marriages, they would say, this was like Adam and Eve, the bond that they had, the love that they had. But it wasn't a natural, physical love. It was a what? A spiritual love that she had, that she was going to cleave into the God of Naomi, not the flesh of Naomi. Anybody got anything to say? Read. 16. Whoever want to read, just grab it real quickly and read 16.
And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whether
she begged him, she begged her, don't make me leave you. Isn't that something? She begged her. This is all I got. Who feel like God is all I got? If I go back now, this is all. I have been through too much. If I give up and go back now, he's going to kill me. Why? Because now I know more than I knew last year. You understand? Read.
Where thou goest, I will go. And where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die.
Wow, she took it to the point that I'm going to stay with you. That's why a lot of them use it in marriage thing. I'm going to stay with you until I die. This is better. And I'm going to stay with you. When you got somebody who will stay with you through the good time and the bad time, you got somebody that love you.
Amen.
That's love and dedication. My granddaddy, I think I told you all, I can't remember what I did. My granddaddy, he was lighter than my wife. I mean, he curly hair. He thought he was, the world said, Mac Daddy. If y'all see my granddaddy, he even had a cool walk by himself when he walked. And he said that he did not chase the women, they chased him. That was his thing. He said they chased him. But he was a cheater. Yes, my grandfather Lucian Steele was a cheater. And he had plenty girlfriends. One of his girlfriends that lived across the street from my grandmama, he was messing around with her. He looked at her. She was like, her house was like, I'm not going to call her name because we're going to put this on Facebook and YouTube, and that family might, but the house, okay, I better not say what house. But anyway, that was his girlfriend, one of his girlfriends. And I was a little boy, and I used to suck my thumb like that on my thumb. And I get under my grandmother's legs. And long story short, my grandfather parked his car all the way at the corner. He just got off from the paper mill. And he parked his car all the way at the corner, and he was walking down the railroad track because he was trying to sneak by the house to get over there. And I was sitting down there like this here, and I saw my grandfather, and old Big Mouth, he said, "Look at granddaddy." And I'm like, granddaddy. I was all excited because I was, he was the only father I had at the time. So, he's going down that side, and I'm looking, and my grandaunt, my grandmother's sister, they always sit on the porch. We always sit on the porch. And she said, my grandaunt said, "You know where you going?" And my grandmother shook her head, I remember. And he went up on the back porch, lady back porch, and went in the house. And my grandaunt said, "You know what he's going to do. Come on back up north. Come on, Carrie. Leave him." She just cussing and everything. Go back, just leave him. And my grandmother said something, Minister Zach, that I will never forget. She said, if he's not man enough to do his vows, she said, I'm going to be woman enough to do mine. Amen. That stayed with me for years. She said, if he's not man enough, she made a vow between God and him. And she was woman enough to do his vow. And when he came home, she didn't ask him where he'd been, what she was doing. She had his food cooked, his clothes ironed for the next day. Because she felt that God was going to deliver her. She felt that God was going to deliver her. I guess she did, because she buried him. I guess she buried him because her troubles was over. But she loved that old man. But she cleaved unto him because she loved him. And that's what Ruth was saying. Well, that's what she was saying to Naomi. I love you. I love your son. And I'm going to stick with you because I honor the God that you serve.
You see, back then, they took their vows seriously.
They did.
Because when you get married, you make a vow between your husband and God. And to death do you part. Where young people don't take it seriously. You know, because I know when we back in the day, I wouldn't. But see, now that I'm saved and living for the Lord, I would have took it more seriously.
I think we ought to take our vows seriously. Go read the next one. What's the next one? We can skip down.
Where was that? 18 or 17?
And she saw, when she saw that she was steadfast in what?
Minded.
You got to be steadfast in your mind. That this is what you're going to do and you can't waver. Who is in their mind? They say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to live for God and I ain't going back.
Amen. Mindset.
Yeah.
You got to have a made up mind what you're going to do. And mine's made up regardless of what happens if I fall.
Wow.
God pick me back up. It don't matter. I know I got a made up mind.
Yeah.
I'm going on.
Wow. And you know, you said something that's powerful. You said, well, if you fall. Ruth was saying, where you lie, I'll lie. If you give up, it's going to kill me. You understand? If you go, because I'm cleaving to you to learn your God. Have you ever been you looking at someone so hard, you know, they live right and you fall in their footsteps? That's what Ruth was saying. Come on, let's go to the next. I think these batteries is going dead. Okay. Whoever want to read.
So they went until they came to Bethlehem. And it came to pass, when they were come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them, and they asked, "Is this Naomi?" And she said unto them, "Call me Naomi. Call me Myra, for the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me."
Who wants to explain that? That is so deep. Anybody?
Well, she was saying when she left Bethlehem, she had her husband, her children, and even though Bethlehem was going through a famine, but she still felt that she was full because she had her children. But now, coming back, her husband's dead, and then right after her husband died, she lost both of her sons. So basically, she's saying that my family line, so to speak, has ended because I don't have no more seed in me to have children.
Who else? That's a good point. Who else?
It also means that somebody's life is full of grief
I
and
can't
sorrow.
hear you.
I said it also means that it's somebody's life that's full of grief and sorrow, and bitter and unbearable. One of the most worst kinds of slander against God by his so-called people. I'm just reading beyond.